line is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It's our season-ending visit with Jason Garrett. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Well, I know the season didn't end the way you wanted it to. You must be somewhat disappointed that the playoffs start this weekend without you.
Obviously, we're disappointed. I thought our team played well. I thought we played well, but obviously not well enough. And obviously that's disappointing, but it's a process. It's a process to play well, and I'm not sure what our final record was. I won't know that until I see the tape.
It was 8-8 because you lost 4 of your last 5 games. And what was the process in December? What fell apart for you guys?
Well, we did some things well, and we did some other things not very well. And that's a term that I like to use. I like to say well. I like to say well a whole lot. And I think what's important is from this point is that we got to move forward. Got to move forward. Got to stack things.
How many? How many? How many? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, what did I get up to?
This is a new episode of How Many, your podcast where 4 guys talk about stuff. I am one of your hosts, semi-bus driver, Jesse Jackson. Joining me this week, as always, is
Bob
and Scott
and Junior,
as
otherwise known
it's like the
as
opening
Mexican
of Zoom.
Junior.
Remember Zoom?
Yeah.
We need really catchy
Striped shirt.
Cool radio
the
names.
BB.
Yeah, we need real catchy radio naming.
All right, well, I'm going to be Trade McNown.
Referring to a fake skip. You want to pull out some fake skip for us, Bob?
I do not want to pull out some fake skip. You need to pull out some fake Junior.
Now, what was I noticed on P1CR, shout out to our core listening group, there was a little discussion about a fake skip. What's the controversy there?
Well, Gordo, they did fake skip the other day, and then on Thursday as the 840 bit, and then on Friday, Gordo, they started talking about it, and he's like, that's the character I hate doing the most, because it makes me so nervous to do that character, so I'm going to try and inundate the P1 with so much fake skip, they hate it, and then I won't have to do it anymore. So he played a clip.
But it backfires because it ends up being a genius bit that everybody wants to hear over and over again.
Let me tell you something, double cheeseburger chin.
Okay.
That's George.
All right.
My Cowboys are not only going to win their football game, they're going to send Green Bay packing. Okay.
Oh, God.
My predictions on this year's Cowboys team have been what Jesus would call spot on.
So, as much as there's a lot of discussion of people not in the P1CR, but among my, work and stuff are saying, okay, so obviously, Jesse, you're pulling for New England because you can't pull for Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. As we record this is the week before the Super Bowl. And I said, well, first off, Philadelphia going to the Super Bowl meant we got Touchdown Brothers, which is
2 weeks in a row.
One of my favorite bits. As we talked about on the 840 segment. The other point is I have a lot of Springsteen. If you're in the How Many drinking game, take a drink. Jesse mentioned Bruce Springsteen. I have a lot of Springsteen fans from the East Coast, and they're Philly fans. And that's kind of a joke. Like every once in a while, I can't believe I'm friends with a Cowboy fan, And so it's really weird, because they're 2 teams that you just don't want to like either one.
Absolutely.
The Patriots and the
Yeah,
Eagles.
I'm rooting for Bane. That's what I'm rooting for in the Super Bowl.
To show up and blow up the field. Yeah, I can't really get behind either of these teams. I guess I have to go for the Patriots. I don't want Philadelphia to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But, man, I hate seeing Brady hoist another trophy up in the air.
I'm just rooting against
so gross.
the Eagles. That's it. It's not for
I was really
Patriots.
pulling hard, that's what she said, for the Vikings. I really wanted the Vikings to make it and actually win a Super Bowl because they're kind of like the Broncos were before Elway finally won that Super Bowl for them in 97.
Well, they're like the Buffalo Bills. They've been 4 times and never won.
Yeah, and and since we should give them a honorary mention of the Cowboys' 90 Super Bowls. Right? Because of the
Herschel Walker trade, which pretty much built our entire dynasty in the 90s.
Hey, guys.
And you know what? I know this isn't supposed to be a sports segment, but it does remind me, if we go back and we listen to our NFL predictions in the sports segment we did last year, I did predict the Cowboys would go 9-7.
Ooh, you nailed it.
This past season. But I also said that they would sneak into the wild card spot in the playoffs, which they did not do.
Yeah.
But I did get the record right.
Yeah, impressive.
And Bob overshot completely.
I said 11-5, I think. Yeah.
Boy, bad decision, Coach.
I think I did 10-6, but I thought that they would, I think I said they would take a little step backwards, but I said that they would actually make it to the NFC Championship game, I believe.
Yeah, and we had said that all of our predictions would be contingent on Zeke actually playing the entire season, which obviously he did not do. So that kind of threw all of the predictions out of the window.
Yeah, they're settling into that routine of good year, bad year, good year, bad year.
Which is
so
ridiculous.
next year is going to be the good.
So
we'll see.
And we're gonna I'm gonna make this a really short episode. So we're gonna do this, and then we'll move on to our next topic. So I'm gonna hit stop and everything. So. Bob, you've been very vocal from the beginning of the season. You are not a Jason Garrett fan.
Well, there are no Jason Garrett fans.
At least at this
maybe
point,
his
right?
wife and Jerry. That's not it.
Now, I love Jerry. I love Jason because of his Springsteen, fandom,
Okay.
and
Take another drink.
Yes, he seems
like a nice guy.
I want him to do well, but I will agree that there is, he just didn't bring anything extra. Like, Junior from the ticket used to say Walsh. He didn't understand what Washington brought to the Rangers during that World Series, kind of era.
Yeah.
He just said, Washington's just there. I don't see what he does. And then later he said, okay, somehow he does do something with this team.
Yeah.
I don't see that what Garrett does. And horrible in-game decisions by him and both coordinators.
He does not elevate when they have injuries, suspensions, whatever it is. He doesn't add anything. He's only good when they're good.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're not, any adversity whatsoever.
Any in-game adjustments.
He's not lifting players.
There's nothing he's doing to get his team to play above their heads.
He is no Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights.
When Jason Street went down the first game of the season, everybody wrote us off. Everybody. And yet here we are at the championship game. 40,000 people out there have also written us off. There are a few out there who do still believe in you. You'll never give up on you. You go back out on the field, those are the people I want in your minds. Those are the people I want in your hearts. Every man at some point in his life is going to lose a battle. He's going to fight and he's going to lose. But what makes him a man is that in the midst of that battle, he does not lose himself. This game is not over. This battle is not over. So let's hear it one more time. Together. Clear eyes, full hearts. Let's go!
No. And I just Garrett, enough with Garrett.
Okay.
Now I will make a prediction because I'm hearing people like, oh, well, if they have a bad year, next year he's out. No. I think Jerry, no matter what, Garrett gets 2 more years. I don't think
assuming that Jerry makes it that far.
Yeah.
Oh, so the 2018 deaths.
Yeah, so when we start going over the deaths of 2018, we're going to have to try and pencil in Jerry, hoping that we can put a yes next to his name on the list.
This is a very limited topic, but I also don't get the whole Kelvin Moore quarterback.
Yeah,
like
no,
you just
I don't either.
I believe you try to find the very best people you can have and surround yourself. Robert Guillaume, the late great Robert Guillaume, on Sports Night, as Isaac said a phrase that I say all the time at work. He says, if you're smart, you surround yourself with people. And no, if you're dumb, you surround yourself with people who are smart. And if you're smart, you surround yourself with smart people who disagree with you. And you want that give and take. You want that. And I just don't, Jerry doesn't seem to do that, and I don't know. And if I was Jason Garrett, I don't know if I'd argue too. I mean, I think Jerry wants Jason Garrett to be his Tom Landry. Someone that he can be a coach for a long time, they can believe in. And because he's a nice guy, I hope that too, but I just don't know if that's going to happen.
I really think the Kellen Moore deal was they felt bad that he lost his starting job, or not his starting job, but his backup job to injury, got completely out of the quarterback rotation, and they wanted to do something nice.
Well, and he's in tight with Linehan, so they figure he knows Linehan's system.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
The whole thing, I look at Garrett as being Jones. That's his wish on the monkey's paw. He's, I really want to have somebody that's going to get me that winning season. I'm going to get that winning season. Well, he gets it, but then comes all the bad shit afterwards. It's you're going to get a winning coach, but then guess what's going to happen after that? He didn't read the fine print. And like I say, I just don't see Garrett being somebody that's going to be an innovator. He's not a Tom Landry. He's not an innovator. He's not going to bring those guys up and make them play better than they are. You know? And as much as I hate Belichick, I hate that guy. But that's what he does.
Yeah.
He brings these no-names up, and he says, all right, you're going to play.
He drills into people to execute properly and not make mistakes, and I think Garrett doesn't do that at all.
Right.
If you look at the Cowboys constantly doing stupid penalties, making stupid mistakes, and there's no repercussions. I think people make mistakes, they go to the sideline, and Garrett is just clapping nonstop. Oh, good job not making a worse mistake.
Right.
He's too committed to his own system and his own, whether it's and how he deals with the players, how he deals with the media. He just refuses to deviate. He's so rigid.
It's a process.
He's very rigid in everything he does.
And
he
you can
no
see
flexibility.
And you can see that in his press conferences. All of his answers are the most vanilla, straightforward, not going to deviate, not going to give the press any kind of change in this answer. We have to look at the tape, all three phases. We played hard. That's a great team on the other side of the field. It's always the same
have to get better.
speech.
And
it's you're not getting better.
You're not going to
but
get
we have
better.
to get better.
On Monday morning you'll talk about how can you be first and goal and do 3 passes when you have supposedly this
one of the best running backs in the league, right?
Yeah.
And I know people will put that on Linehan.
We just need to execute better.
But Garrett needs to have, if he's a head coach, the veto power to say, you know what, we should probably run it here, guys. I know you want to throw it 3 times. I know play action seems like the way to go here. But we have a top 5 running back, probably a top 3 running back.
And supposed to be one of the best lines.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in the league. Why don't we try running it here a couple of times?
Yeah, and the other thing is, just the 90s Cowboys, Aikman, Emmett, Michael have all said in interviews that other teams would say, we knew what you were going to run. We just couldn't stop.
Yeah, we couldn't stop.
And the idea is, and to talk about it, there is, like movies, you go, I can know the whole plot right now, but it's still a heck of a ride, and I'm entertained. I caught into that. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating. We'll move on to our next topic, but I did have to share, we were talking before we hit record, my son, Chris, also known as Poochie, is a very passionate Cowboy fan and also a passionate fan of drinking.
And at the same time.
And when they mix, it can be a very volatile situation. And he's gotten better with his fiancée, Erica. He's kind of behaved himself and understands that the Cowboys are not everything in his life now. But he does say, and I cannot because we are a Safe for Work podcast what he calls Garrett. It's not Carrot Top. It may be a British cigarette top.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he'll say, "Look at F Top. He didn't even know the game's on. He'll just, look at him. He doesn't even know we have the ball." Trash.
So since this has kind of turned into kind of a sports segment,
yeah,
like you said, the Super Bowl is next week. Do we want to take predictions here?
Yes, I will edit this and we'll put this out. I can make this on. So it's hard to go against New England.
If Wentz was still playing and he wasn't hurt,
yeah,
would you still go with New England?
Yeah. I'm gonna go for all my Bruce fans, all my Bruce buddies that are in Philly, the Philly Elvis, Nick. I've got other people that are from Philly that love the Eagles. So I'm gonna hope that, and for Andy Pena, yeah, Gina's husband, I'm gonna say that the Eagles are going to, God help us, win, and the fans will be just unsufferable.
They'll burn the city down either way. It's either going to be burning a celebration or burning it in
either way, the Touchdown Brothers segment of them losing will be genius, but them winning will be genius. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Bob?
I'll say New England 24-16.
Oh, you actually gave a score. I'm going to say the Eagles 21, New England 17.
I'm going to say...
And give your score again, Bob.
24-16.
Okay.
The Cheatriots. They're going to try and get themselves a Super Bowl that doesn't have an asterisk next to it. And I as much as I hate it, I think they're gonna beat Philadelphia because I just don't think Philadelphia can stop that machine.
And that'll put them at 6 Super Bowl wins?
Yeah, 6 Super Bowl. I think
it means the Steelers won't be by themselves. So that's another good thing about.
But it's another team that passes us,
which
is the important part.
It's like our buddy Matt Molina said: if you don't want other teams to pass, you start winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Games.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'd give you a score of like 35-21. No, 25-24. Because I think the Patriots are going to look at this and they're going to roll on it at some point. The second half is going to be theirs.
I could definitely see that.
Okay, and Junior?
I know that Nick Foles has had a pretty decent playoff run so far. I think this is the game where Nick Foles his wheels come off and he gets exposed for being Nick Foles.
So
if Carson Wentz was playing, I think they would have a much better chance. I think the game would be much closer.
Okay.
But the way it is set up now, I think New England wins 31-17.
So you think that Eagles defense is going to really get mowed down, huh?
Yeah, I think Minnesota's offense was a little overrated going into that championship game. I think Case Keenum is kind of in the same mold as Nick Foles, where he had a pretty good run, but then he finally got exposed for being Case Keenum. And I think you can't really do that against New England because they have arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of football. Mm-hmm. And now, another thing that's going to factor into this is if Gronk is going to be healthy. I know he was concussed.
He's all concussioned up.
He has had 2 weeks to rest.
Yeah, he's had 2 weeks.
So as long as he plays, I see New England winning pretty handily.
I mean, it's not like there's a huge drop-off mentally for Gronk. From being a Gronk or concussed Gronk, he's still, going from 75 to 65 in IQ. Come on.
So, pretty good little sports segment. Pretty good little sports segment.
We'll be able to revisit this.
Yes.
So this will be our big Super Bowl Sunday release?
Yes, absolutely. We'll put this out. All right. I am Jesse Jackson. You can find me at Jesse Jackson DFW.
I'm Scott. You can find me at Scott_Matula.
And you can find me, Metzgen_Jr.
And I'm at Lukewarm Tallboy.
Interesting story.
All right. Thank you, guys. And let's go Cowboys.
That was on him, but we never had any doubt about the kind of football player that young man is. And, you talk about competitors. He's one of the great natural competitors I've ever been around. He loves it.
That was on you.
He loves to play. He demonstrated